thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my partner in crime, my esteemed colleague. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. He's a silly boy today. It's Aric DiLalla.
Phil, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's another game week. The winning streak continues. We're having fun. I mean, if you can't laugh now when you're 5 wins deep, when can you laugh, really?
That's true. It's fun when you win.
It is fun.
So you keep it rolling, 5 in a row.
It's fun when you podcast.
Exactly. And when you're talking about meaningful ball this late in the season.
Playoffs.
You know, a December football game, and it matters. It's fun. Playoffs.
They're in the mix, Phil.
They're in the mix.
But this is a big one. We're excited to talk about a matchup with the Houston Texans that most of the country is going to get this game, Phil.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Well, your guy, Ian Eagle, one of the best out there. He'll be calling our game. It's a pleasure to have him on. It is.
It's an enjoyable broadcast. And, it should be a good one. We got a couple of angles about this game that we want to talk about.
No.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. Broncos, will they try to play smash mouth football or will they try to air it out? You know, what kind of offensive attack for this game would you go with? And then sort of the same thing on the other side of the ball we'll get into. C.J. Stroud on pace to break Andy Luck's rookie season record.
Isn't it Justin Herbert's record?
No, I don't think so. I think it's Andrew Luck's.
Oh.
But right now he's on pace. He's got more than anybody else ever.
Yeah.
I think
it's Herbert's record.
Oh, well, maybe we can fact check.
Well,
but unfortunately, Ben Swanson's not here.
Where is he now?
I don't know where.
What?
Oh, man, what week is it?
Oh, my gosh.
How long have you
what
been
are you doing here?
How long have you been down there?
I don't know.
You don't know how long you've been there?
No, I've been out.
You've been on a long voyage.
Swanson, the last time
tell us about your travels.
You took the barrel down around South America, back up to Colorado. Phil saw you, but then, of course, you had other things to attend to.
Yeah.
I was doing work. I was doing work. Phil was not doing work, I think.
You were in the Panama Canal for a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Where else did he go to?
Fireworks, right?
Yeah. You've had some crazy journeys.
What was your favorite?
It's hard to remember.
Yeah.
Easy.
Ooh. A lot of time out on the waters.
Yeah.
That's what
the flannel kept you. Where's your flannel?
Your flannel.
The flannel, I wore it earlier this week, so I got the shacket.
It's at the dry cleaners.
The shacket.
You got a little sheep's wool in there? Is that from Mutton Bustin' this past week?
Yeah, it was sheep.
I thought I saw you on that sheep.
That would be tremendous.
That was me. I was the first one, the one that didn't fall off.
That's where he was hiding, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't fall off.
You didn't fall off, yeah.
Kind of. It was
strength.
Like a band of 6-year-olds, and you were like, "Where is Swan?" I think they're
the
all the
beard
same.
Kind of gave it away.
Yeah. Does a 6-year-old have a beard or what?
What the last time Swanson was on was like right before the Packers game, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. Weird. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so if the Broncos lose this weekend, knock on wood that doesn't happen.
No.
Never doing the podcast.
I think you know who to blame.
That'd be great. Never again.
So I'm assuming, have you been able to get the podcast when you've been in your barrel?
No cell reception.
So you really have no idea what's going on.
I have not listened to any of the podcasts since then. That's kind of weird.
Wow.
Rude.
That's upsetting. Well, we're happy to have you, Swanson. Thanks for joining us.
It's great to be back. I hope the fans enjoy.
Do you know who has the rookie season record for a quarterback in terms of passing yards? I thought it was Andrew Luck. I think Mahomes has the most in his first 16 games or 17 games. But, of course, that came he set out most of his rookie.
That doesn't really count.
Doesn't really count.
Rookie.
Luck has passing yards.
That's what I thought.
Well, you didn't say that initially. You said passing. I think of touchdowns when I think of that.
Come on now.
Herbert.
Come on now. When I say passing, that means yards.
Huh?
What?
Herbert is touchdowns.
Yeah, like I said.
To be clear.
So when I'm like, he's on pace to break the passing record, you're like, oh, touchdowns.
Yeah, touchdowns. How do you win games, huh? You do it with yards
move the football.
or
you move
touchdowns?
The football.
You do it touchdowns.
You drive your squad down the field.
Yeah. And then if you don't score touchdowns, does it really matter? Or no?
What if you run the ball in? Does that matter?
Broncos do not do that.
Does that matter? Yeah, the Broncos do that. We're not talking about the Broncos.
We're talking about the
C.J.
Texans.
Stroud.
They don't do that either.
They don't throw the touchdowns?
No, they do throw the touchdown.
They throw they don't run it in. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You really don't know which one they're going to do.
That's true.
That's what makes them tough.
So I think
anyway, so there's a couple
wrong.
of records. I saw Andrew Luck.
And then mainly Justin Herbert.
Yeah. And also mostly I would say Andrew.
Oh yeah, I'd say definitely Herbert.
Yeah. Huh. Weird. Okay. Anyway, so we'll talk about what the game plans should be looking like here for both of these squads.
Okay.
So before we get into that, though, Eric, of course, this is an interactive show. We like to get NZ Nation involved, get them in the mix.
Yeah, we do.
We need some more voicemails, I think.
Yeah. What's happening?
Zach,
Jeff Flanagan,
Brandon Walker, sup, fellas? Iowa.
Tom Magnetti.
Maybe he's too locked in for the Big Ten championship this week.
Yeah.
The B1G. Shock the world.
With the spreads like 40?
I think it's maybe more than
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40. Yeah, 40 would be kind of close.
40 would be too close. Especially with, the way they play in the Big Ten.
Harbaugh returns.
Yeah. Is that game going to be in Indianapolis?
I believe so. I think it's always in Indianapolis.
Got it. So can you do like higher turf? You bring in special turf for that one?
Yeah, I think so.
So just slow it down a little bit.
Slow them down.
Yeah. I don't know. The Northwestern way.
But this is Iowa.
I know that, but it's sort of a Big Ten Midwest sort of tradition. Keep the score down a little.
So what's a CU tradition? Losing games or what?
No, it's Sports Person of the Year tradition.
Got it.
That's sort of like how we kind of do it.
Sorry, let me clarify. I meant football games, but basketball games is also something that's
so you're
happened.
trying to just tie it all in together.
It's all kind of the losing.
That's true.
It's tough.
Then
tough
Buffs,
time to be a CU fan.
You know what? When
Tough
it's a good time to kind of go through some struggles and grow as a team and get better.
Yeah.
It's now.
Right.
Call me in March.
For football? After
Are
the
we
portal?
talking about basketball?
I think, no, I was saying you lose both.
Oh. Yeah, call me after the portal.
Okay.
The portal opens up.
CU kind of did the
Swanson
reverse.
knows where the portal is.
CU did the reverse Broncos.
Yeah, exactly.
Broncos are like, will be relevant when it matters. CU is like, will be relevant when it doesn't.
It all matters in college football.
Oh, got it.
That's sort of the difference.
Well, I think I've probably alienated enough of our listeners.
Yeah, well, hello. Thanks for joining us here on the program. I'm here with Aric DiLalla and, of course, Ben Swanson.
Yeah. You can leave an email at neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. You can leave a voicemail at 707-NEUTRAL. You can tweet us directly on x.com at Aric DiLalla with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH, at Benver?
Benver Bronc. Photo Ben.
Yeah, Ben
Barrel
Swanson
Ben.
.photo.
That's on IG.
In the waters.
It's on IG.
.nikon.canon.
No Nikon.
Oh,
no. Canon.
Yeah, Canon.
Redacted.
yeah,
Not
redacted.
a sponsor.
It'd be great if they did.
Or, Phil, you could kind of do our favorite way, which is go to the Broncos official YouTube channel, find Broncos, go to the Neutral Zone, click on it, subscribe, and then leave a comment.
Swanson, what do you do? Lame. Lame.
Don't make that noise.
Yeah, please.
And then we'll read those comments right here on the air.
And we'll do that right now. There's sort of this thing on YouTube.
Right now.
If you're the first commenter,
You say first.
yeah, exactly. It's sort of a thing.
What if you're the second?
I thought Renee Gutierrez, she says, being this first feels illegal.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was funny. It made me chuckle. I lolled, if you will. J. Prez Bronx says, Ben
Lulled us to
Swanson.
sleep, am I right?
Huh? J. Prez Bronx. Ben Swanson's chilling on IR with Greg Dulcich.
Well,
It was on IR.
Greg Dulcich was back on the field on Wednesday, and Ben
See?
Swanson's back in the studio.
It all kinds of it's all kind of coming together.
Swanson's, there's a classic idiom.
What's that? It's all coming together?
All
All
kinds of
kinds
happening together.
It's all happening, kind of. Our friend Barry,
Yeah.
he says,
Last name?
I don't know. It doesn't say here. Troutman says, Troutman has that knee drag swag.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Not the toe drag, but the knee drag swag. Dominic Cavazos. He says that, this is in quotes, the Neutral Zone is better than any podcast Houston's put out, Phil Milani.
What?
Because I think that we're like a little bit crazy So we just
He's
confident.
attributing that quote to you?
Yeah. And then he says, quote, I can outplank Riley Moss, Aric DiLalla.
That's true.
So
we know that. That's been established.
We've talked about this a lot. Jake Soko, I'm legitimately concerned now about Swanson. What did Aric do with him in Buffalo, and why is Phil covering?
He's fine.
Happy to report he's alive here.
He's back.
He's alive. And then Ran M1AC. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what it means. Anyways, enjoy your takes. That. It says, enjoy your takes and your weird sense of humor. Okay, maybe not weird, but uncommon. We're diff. We're diff.
Yeah, are we cool or diff?
No, we're diff.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been, that's about it. I think on here. Some shout outs for Nick Benito. Oh, Tebow Time says, this season feels like such a roller coaster. Feels like 2011 with Tebow.
Wow.
Any similarities to that season?
His handle almost
Tebow Time.
Yeah.
Tebow Time. There's a little bit of
you're getting some dubs, I think. That's similar.
Yeah, there's a little bit of magic.
Yeah. I think this team is more capable offensively.
Offensively, yes. That was a really good defense that year, 2011.
Yeah.
Offensively, this team is capable of throwing it more than the.
I think you probably could have just stopped. Just stopped there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're capable.
But that one game against Kansas City, I think there was.
He went 2 of 8.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Amazing.
Like the 2 is bad, but also just 8 passes. That is amazing.
They won. So what does it matter?
That's true.
Dub's a dub.
Dub's a dub. There's no such thing as a bad dub.
No.
Could have an ugly dub.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
But it's nice.
You take it. So, all right. Thank you very much for all of the comments. Keep them coming. Those are from the Monday show this week.
Ooh.
From the Monday show. So you got to listen on Monday, get the shout out on Thursday, and it's nice.
And sometimes you'll read the Thursday show's comments.
It's all just
kind of up to
whatever
you.
I want to do.
Yeah.
It's nice
when you comment on both.
When you kind of just do it that way. Yeah. Eric, let's get into our first topic here on this week's show, and that's what should the offensive strategy be against Houston this week? The last couple of weeks, we've seen the Broncos really play that smash mouth football, in your face, Samaje Perine lifting up cars and throwing defenders out of the way.
Did he lift a car?
He did.
When?
In college.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, let me tell you what happened here. This woman was trying to change her tire.
Yeah.
Didn't have a jack. He's like, I don't need that.
I don't need a jack. I'm Samaje.
Comes up, lifts the car up off the ground. She changes the tire, puts the new one on, puts it back down.
Wow. And this was Swanson's F-1850?
Yes. It was a huge monster
Very
truck,
cool.
actually.
I said, no. I can lift it myself.
Oh, you were there, Swanson?
Yeah.
Oh.
Swanson couldn't get it out of his car seat in time to help.
Oh, yeah. You were buckled in.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
The double strap.
So you were in the car when he lifted it up.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Added
That's
an
good.
extra 15 pounds.
Anyway, Javonte
Aren't
Williams.
you glad you're back, Swanson?
I am. I've missed this.
You got Javonte Williams. You got that change of pace with Jaleel comes in. Jaleel McJukestick. Okay.
Yep.
And they got those 5 horsemen up front.
Ooh.
Yeah. As Russ likes to do, let me start from left to right, and I'll go right across the line and just talk about how great everybody is.
They're good. They're playing well.
You can do that when they're playing like that.
Yeah.
You can go,
GB
go
zone
off on
is,
them. Like,
I mean, it's
that's the
massive
place
right
to be right now.
Yeah.
The GB zone.
People are trying to get in.
Unless you're a pass rusher. You don't want to be in the GB zone.
That's when the bouncer shows up. He's like, you can't.
You can't
You're
come
not
in.
in.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, well, I just saw a bunch of people go in the GB zone. He's
No,
like,
no,
You're
no.
not allowed.
No. You're not allowed.
Kind of standing there with like the
Myles
sunglasses
Garrett, he's
on,
outside. He's waiting.
Earpiece. There's the rope line.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
walking
your
in.
name's
we're like,
not on the list.
yeah. He's like, oh, Eric and Phil Swanson, you guys can go in the GB zone.
Yeah. And Miles is like, I know those guys.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, you don't.
Sir.
No, you
Don't make us.
Yeah.
Don't make us.
Don't make
this
this
difficult.
a scene. Yeah. Please. Everybody's just trying to have a nice time.
Yeah.
You know. Are they going to continue to use those guys the way they have the last couple of weeks? Or is it time to say, hey, look, we got Cortland Sutton. We got Jerry Jeudy. We got Marvin Mims. We got Brandon Johnson coming back.
Maybe.
We got L.J. Humphrey.
Lil Jordan.
Lil Jordan, formerly Lil Jordan, LJ now.
I think also currently.
I don't know. And you got Russell Wilson back there.
Yeah.
Just let it rip. Let it fly, baby.
Who are some of the practice squad receivers that the
Let it
Broncos have?
just go in.
Who are some of the practice?
I'll let Swanson take that part.
No, I want to hear
Let's
you tell
just,
me who some of the practice squad receivers are.
I don't want to do that to our fans. You know, we just keep it focused on. We'll just keep it focused on the guys catching the touchdowns.
Okay, perfect.
I like the guys who catch the touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know, those are some of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
So I focus on them.
What about a practice squad receiver that's been elevated like twice the last couple of weeks?
Any touchdowns there?
No.
Nope. See, what did I just say? Are they gonna let it fly in the sky in the dome?
Oh,
Yeah,
and find a home
in the end zone.
in the end zone.
In the end zone. You're welcome.
Boom.
You're welcome. What are they gonna do, Eric? You tell me right now.
Swanson.
Swanson.
I think the beauty of this game, Phil, and get your clippers out here.
For a haircut?
It's time to edge.
Oh, got it.
I think the beauty is that I think the Broncos should be able to do both. I think that you're going to have to hit some chunk plays against this defense, I think. I do expect it to be a somewhat high-scoring game in the 20s, high 20s maybe.
High 20s.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so I think you're going to need to be able to take shot plays against this secondary, which has struggled a little bit. They don't have from a statistical standpoint, the best passing defense. But I also think, especially late, one of the things CJ Stroud does really well is that they're behind. He has a knack for being able to come back, scoring quickly, putting points on the board fast. And so I think get a lead, and maybe that's via some of these deep shots. And then I think the rest of the game has to be about controlling time of possession, keeping Stroud off the field, not giving him time to work with. This is a good rushing defense. They're near the top of the league. They allow less than 100 rushing yards a game. But I think if you can stretch them out a little bit with those deep shots early, then get it going on the ground, establish that momentum, shorten the game, that could be a good plan. But I do think part of it has to be you might need more passes, more. I don't think you can throw it 22 times in this game. I think it's got to be closer to 30, maybe a little more, and take those shots down the field, find strike plays to be able to go kind of toe-to-toe with Stroud.
Yeah. You hear these guys talking about the defense, you know, he says, look, you could see D'Amico Ryan's thumbprint on what they're trying to do. It looks a lot like what they were doing with the 49ers. They talk about, you know, just flying around, attacking the ball, playing with a lot of confidence. That's what you see a lot from this Houston Texans defense. I guess what I'm trying to wonder, I kind of wonder this is, as a Broncos offense, do you look at what the Texans are doing and say, okay, here's how we're going to craft our game plan around what they do? Because if that's the case, then I think that you're going to see Russell Wilson throw the ball a lot more. Or do you say, look, it doesn't matter what they're doing. This is what we do, and they can't stop it. And if you just show up and they start pounding the ball and start running it, and then that'll open up some of those chunk plays. We've seen Courtland Sutton running wide open, just prancing down the field. Boom, huge 40-yard plays. Is that what we're going to see? That's going to be interesting to me, just to see what are they trying to do here. Are they saying, look, when we get running the way that we run, it doesn't really matter who we're playing against. This is what the Broncos are.
Yeah, I like that strategy of be who you are.
Yeah.
And it's worked to run the ball well. It's worked to take these occasional shot plays down the field. Certainly it's not like you're scoring 10 points a game. You're still scoring enough to make in the 20s that this should work. I think a problem at times is that the Broncos over the past few years have let opposing defenses or opposing offenses dictate what they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you have to stick with your identity, and it's worked here over the last 5 games. Certainly against a good Cleveland defense, it worked. And I think you've got to stick with that and be true to yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that as a play caller, as a game planner, you can't look at certain things and say, okay, well, here's where Houston's really good at. It's against the run. Okay, what can we do to make it easier for us to run the football? Or they've struggled a little bit in the back end. They've got a lot of pass interference penalties, second most in the league. what can we do to put Cortland Sutton in a position to make plays? I don't think that that's changing your identity, too much. But if you look at the Texans, watching the game last week against the Jaguars, it feels like they threw the ball almost every play.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Broncos, just because you're playing a team that throws the ball, that can score some points, that doesn't mean to me that you need to
play that way,
go completely in that direction. I think it's about staying true to who you are. Again, not turning the ball over, but I do think there'll be a chance against this defense, and maybe we'll see more of them pushing it down the field, because I do think that exists within what this offense can do. We saw it against Washington with a big shot down the field to Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
We've seen it at other times against Chicago, for example, finding those strike plays. But I think the other thing with a rookie quarterback is if you can keep him off the field or have these long drives or score points and be efficient. Say you go down opening drive touchdown, the way the Broncos have a lot this year, 6 times in 11 games they've scored a touchdown on the first drive.
Early lead is big.
Now Stroud comes on, and if they go 3 and out or they don't score points, and you again come back out there, hold on to the ball, have another 5-minute possession, something like that, it lowers,
disrupts the flow,
lowers the margin of error for these guys. And I think gives you a good chance to win the football game.
Put some pressure on him a little bit. Yeah. If I'm listening to you correctly here, Aric, it seems like as the Broncos offense thinks about this game, they're a little focused on what Stroud is able to do on that other side. Like you, as an offense, you got to say, okay, look, this guy's explosive. He takes deep shots down the field. For whatever reason, him and Tank Dell have this rhythm. They got like a nice flow going. 7 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's pretty good for just a rookie duo there, that connection. So, you're thinking about what they're able to do. You're saying, okay, as the Broncos offense, we've got to disrupt what they're doing on that side.
Yeah, I think Dell and Stroud have the second most receiving yards between a duo, rookie duo in NFL history. So that speaks to what they're doing. I agree with what you're saying in terms of like knowing that he's explosive and you're going to have to match points. And I think in the same way that like against Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, you never quite feel safe.
Yeah.
I think Stroud, he's not at that level yet, but he shows some traits like that where Jacksonville was up 10 points with 8 minutes left, something like that. And the Texans end up with 2.5 minutes left, having a chance to go tie the game, go win the game. They weren't able to do that, but they had that opportunity. Even if he goes 3 and out, even if he gets sacked, he's coming right back. But I think you also have to, like, the Broncos' plan against the Chiefs didn't change all that much because Mahomes was on the other side. They still ran the ball. They were still efficient. They kind of stuck to what they did. They took some shot plays for sure, but they stuck to what they did. In Buffalo, they did the same thing. And so I think this identity, this football team is going to stick to what they do, no matter who's on the other side.
Yeah, I think they should run the football, really stick to what they want to do. And then the big thing will just be in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. I think that was sort of the difference last week, was that they were better in the red zone. That's why that game wasn't close at the end. But in weeks past, maybe, against the Vikings or whatever, when you're selling for field goals, then at the end of the game, you're in this sort of nail biter situation. So pound the ball, get down the field, and then score some tubs.
Yeah, and it might be okay to throw it up to Cortland or Jerry or whoever, just because they do they have committed a lot of pass interference calls.
A lot of pass interference, yeah, that's true.
Do you chuck one up to Cortland down the field and say, hey, can we get 30, 40 free yards?
He's good at drawing those PIs.
He's very good at it. And certainly the contested catches have been there too this year. So maybe that's a strategy, but you're right. Red zone's going to be important. It feels like a game that at the end of the game, you might need a field goal drive.
No.
You might.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I want it not like that.
Oh, you want like a blowout?
Comfortable.
Okay. Well.
More comfortable.
Games in this league are often close.
Yeah, that's too early in the day to be all stressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Sunday.
What I will say is that I don't see a scenario where this team, and I think we talked about this a little bit on Monday maybe, I don't see a scenario where this team doesn't show up ready to play. And that doesn't mean that they're not, that they're guaranteed to win or anything like that, but I think they'll be ready to play. They'll be ready to go. I think they'll find some success offensively and be able to move the ball. And then it'll be about on defense, can you make enough plays to slow down? Stroud's been good for a rookie, but he also was just named AFC Offensive Player of the Month. He's good. He's good for anybody.
Period. If you're good, it doesn't matter. Rookie, whatever, you're good.
Good.
Yeah. You don't need to put that limitation on him when you're talking about him. I will say, Aric, going inside the locker room this week, doing some R work with Ben Swanson. He was in there.
It's true. So you'd seen him?
I thought I saw it was like sort of like a shadow situation. And I was like, was that Ben? And then I was like, I just miss him.
Yeah.
I just miss him. Like I'm seeing things.
Like the end of the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, was that Ra's al Ghul? I was like, no.
No.
Isn't that what you're talking about?
No, when Christian Bale's sitting in
Paris.
Paris.
The cafe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
I've buried too many Batmans. I won't do it.
And then he thought it was him.
I've buried too many Ben Swansons. I'll bury another member of the Swanson family.
It was like that. It was a lot like that. I was like, was that Ben? And then I was like, no, I'm just seeing things. I think there was something like that with Ra's al Ghul. Something like that. You're like, was that him? I was like, no, it's not him. Maybe that was in the first Batman.
Batman Begins?
Begins.
Different movie.
Different movie, but same idea, I think.
It kind of be like if
and then he's like, it can't be you, you're dead. And he's like, the League of Shadows never. Isn't that what happened?
Well, it's just a different movie. So it would kind of be like if Swanson said, oh, like in The Dark Knight Rises, and you were like, oh, yeah, well, in Oppenheimer.
Oh, got it. It's a different movie.
Different movie.
Huh. But sort of same.
Well, kind of.
It's not like that. It's not like what you just said.
If you put on Dark Knight Rises, you would never see Batman Begins. You know what I mean? Like that movie wouldn't just happen to come on.
But you kind of have to know Batman Begins to enjoy Dark Knight Rises.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You think you could just put on the third movie and be like, this is great. I know everything that's going on.
Yeah, I think they do a nice job of explaining what's happening.
You gotta watch the whole thing, I think, to know. Also, who is that? Who's watching the Dark Knight Rises and doesn't know the other two?
I saw Dark Knight before I saw Batman Begins, and I loved it.
Same.
What's the matter with you two? I'm disgusted. Yeah. I'm disgusted, really.
You watch Oppenheimer before you watch Batman Dark Knight Rises? You
don't need to. Those are two completely different things.
So kind of like what I'm talking about.
No, it's not like that. It's kind of strange how that's not what I'm talking about.
Got it.
Yeah. But all good movies.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine. How do you say it, Swanson?
Michael Caine.
It's a little nasally.
Nasally. This is early Michael Caine. What was I talking about?
No, I thought I saw Ben Swanson.
Yeah, I thought I saw Ben Swanson.
You were doing R work.
Yeah, I was doing some R work in there. And the offensive lineman. I talked to Sir Lloyd Cushenberry III.
Mike McGlinchey.
Mike McGlinchey was in there. Garrett Bowles was talking in there.
He was in his own.
He was like, welcome. Like,
what about Big Quinn?
I saw him. I did not do any questions.
Was it Tummy Out?
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Swanson's, Quinn's.
Oh, no, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah. No. They were talking about how physical and intense practices are during the week now with Sean Payton, which we haven't really heard too much about that. All we hear is like, oh, Wednesday's practice was the best of the entire season. You know, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. But now they're talking a little more detail. Javonte Williams said something like, if you don't get it exactly how Sean wants it, he'll just restart that period, is what he said. So yeah. I think that what you're talking about, like, hey, they're not going to show up not ready to go. It's like, no, they've done the work during the season, or during the week. They're going to be ready to rock Sunday. Yeah. And that sort of just comes with understanding the expectation, setting the tone. When you do that on Wednesday, it gets more intense Thursday, a little bit more Friday, a little bit more on Saturday. Come Sunday, yeah. That's what happens when they run out of that tunnel. Yeah. That's sort of what's going on there.
Explosion.
Yeah.
It's like in Batman Begins.
Tell me. Yeah. I'm following. Keep going.
I do think in general these guys recognize that though they're 6-5 and they've won 5 games in a row, if you take your foot off the gas now or you lose one here, you've like wasted a month's worth of work. And it does feel in some ways kind of like this feels like a new chapter of the season to me.
Starts this week?
Yeah, I think so. Because you've gotten back to 5-5, and then even Cleveland, you get over that. But this 3-game road stretch feels like a new chapter. And yet the approach doesn't change, right? Still singular, small focus. And Mike McGlinchey would say, why would you change anything over what we've done the last month, because it's worked? And it sounds, we've talked a lot about guys haven't won around here, right? Certain guys, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Bowles, Justin Simmons. But this is the time of year, Phil, where I feel like
Thanks, Eric.
Where I feel like having a Mike McGlinchey, having a Russell Wilson,
leaders,
having DJ Jones, guys that have won and can talk about what you need to win at this time of the season.
Yeah,
that can help keep guys focused. Sean's obviously won a Super Bowl, been to the playoffs a bunch. Because this is where, as Mike McGlinchey said, if you take your eye off the target now, you'll get smacked in the mouth by somebody.
That's true.
Where I come from, you get knocked out.
You get knocked out.
And so I do think there's a good sense in there of, hey, they're not looking past anybody. They're not all pumped up about being in the playoff race. No, they know they need to get a win. They know they need to keep this going.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, Eric?
Oppenheimer.
It's kind of like when Batman gets out of the pit.
Which movie?
This is in Dark Knight Rises, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, when no rope.
Yeah.
And he gets out.
Yeah.
Once he gets out, he can't be like, okay, I did it. I'm out. That's it. No, Bane is still out there.
Right. And maybe Ra's al Ghul.
And maybe. You just don't know.
We don't really know.
We don't really know who Ra's al Ghul is. Well,
do we really know who anybody is?
That's true. You don't really know. You kind of sometimes are misled.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. That's true.
We thought Swanson was
off he
in
was
the world.
gone.
He's just been asleep under this desk.
That's true.
I thought I smelled something last time, but I
didn't. What have you been eating in here?
Well, I didn't know if it was you. I didn't want to be rude.
It's not usually me.
Yeah.
But it's Swanson.
This time
is
yeah.
Hasn't showered in 1 month. Kind of like how Batman probably was in that bit.
You'd think the waters of the Atlantic Ocean would be
clean.
Cleansing.
Yeah.
But very salty.
Salty. Yeah.
That's how I would kind of describe Ben Swanson in general as salty.
Yeah, of course.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Should we talk about the other side of the ball a little bit? Yeah, we could talk about the other side here. Going up against CJ Stroud, we talked about that a little bit. We talked about Tank Dell a little bit here. What do you expect from this Broncos defense going up against the Houston Texans offense?
Right now. I like their chances, Phil. I think that, watching CJ Stroud, he runs around like crazy. He extends plays. Doesn't do it as much to scramble. He'll scramble occasionally, but it's more
scrambled touchdown last week.
Yeah, but it's more often. It's like buying time in the pocket to make a throw down the field for 70 yards.
Oh yeah, he did have one throw last week that did not count. I'm pretty sure he threw it like 85 yards.
It was unreal.
Maybe 90.
It was, I think, actually closer to 70, 75,
like
but it was very impressive. I think I saw a stat. It would have been the longest air throw ever measured.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was it, like a little holding or something on there?
It was an illegal shift.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, don't cheat. That's kind of my take.
Yeah. You get back in the huddle, you're like, dude,
do it again.
Stop shifting. Yeah. Let me do my thing. I'm going to throw it 80 yards.
Don't shift.
You don't shift, okay?
Yeah.
Break.
On 3. It was
3.
Tank Dell who shifted.
Hut 1. Hut 2. 80 yards.
Could be nice.
That's what you want.
He throws the ball effortlessly. He extends plays. He will take a sack here or there.
Yeah.
But I think what maybe helps the Broncos is I think the strength of the Texans offense matches up with the strength of Denver's
secondary
defense, which is they're going to throw the ball a lot. They're going to take chances. They're going to try and beat you deep. He throws it a lot. And I think the secondary right now with Justin Simmons, Pat Surtain, the way Fabian Moreau's playing, Jaquan McMillan.
McMillian?
No, McMillan.
Macmillan.
They're all playing really well. The pass rush has started to get it going a little bit. I think that bodes well for what Denver's able to do. And it doesn't mean he's not going to beat you sometimes, or certainly in the red zone when he runs around. He gets those plays where like somebody's wide open, and obviously we saw
the easy ones.
We saw Josh Dobbs do that a couple times. I think playing Dobbs will help to some degree in terms of his elusiveness, being ready for it. But they don't run the ball a whole lot, and Singletary is a good player, but it's more, catches out of the backfield. And so I think what Denver doesn't do so well or hasn't done so well in terms of run defense, or maybe that's where people feel like they can exploit this defense, that's not really the Texans' strength. And so I think defensively, I think they'll play fine against these guys. I'm not too concerned about them getting lit up.
Kind of a similar deal is like, hey, do the Texans come in and say, maybe we should try and focus on running the ball a little bit, and then they change up what they're doing.
I think they love the Stroud.
But maybe they just stick with what their strong suit is. So
2 strong suits.
2 strong suits collide Sunday.
That's like when you
Houston.
2 were at the game together. 2 strong suits.
2 strong suits.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thanks,
That's why they don't let me go anymore.
That's why, yeah.
It
had nothing to do with that one thing.
The post game. My friend Ryan Harris brought up a good point to me when we were talking.
What's that?
He said, like if you tell someone, hey, don't think about the color blue. Don't think about the color blue. What happens?
I think about orange.
Yeah.
But my
blue?
mind is stronger.
Do you think orange and blue?
My mind's stronger than an average mind.
That is true. That's true. But that could happen when you say, hey, you're playing the Broncos. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn it over. Then you're like, oh, turnover. Because sometimes that happens. You make it such a focus that it's too much of a focus. Boom, turnover.
So maybe they should think turn it over once.
But, yes, something
turn
reasonable.
It over a lot.
Let's just try and
turn it over a lot.
And then you don't do that.
You don't. Smart.
Yeah. If it becomes too much of a focus, though, it takes you out of your game a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
I will say I've not yet watched his game against the Cardinals where he threw 3 interceptions.
You haven't checked that all 22?
But he didn't really put the ball in harm's way against
He
Jacksonville.
only has 5 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
So I do think, though, you have to try to do that.
2 interceptions?
You have to do something where you're making him think a little bit more. I mean, as great as he is, and, Justin Simmons saying, look, he's got a lot of poise. He could throw a pick 6 and then just come right back like nothing even happened. That's incredible to me. But you do have to make him think a little bit more while you're out there. Hey, is there pressure coming from this way? Where is it coming from? Where's PJ Locke? What's happening? Is that Alex Singleton flying in the air? What is going on? You have to think about those things.
Is that Ben Swanson?
No, it's not. If you think more, you play slower.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if you play slower, you turn the ball over.
I do think Vance has had a great plan the last few weeks. And certainly he's been taking one of those rushers. They've had Benito, Browning, and Cooper on the field a lot together. He's often been using Benito as a kind of a spy.
Yeah.
Maybe you see that again with the mobility that Stroud has. But yeah, I think I trust that Vance will have a good plan. And listen, this is one of those games it feels like where they're going to make plays. They're going to have some success. And can you
tighten up in the red zone?
Yeah. Can you? Or can you just force him into a couple mistakes? And it seems like the way he's playing right now, at some point he's going to be very hard to stop. But there still are probably some rookie mistakes that get made.
Yeah, something's got to be in there.
So take advantage of 1 or 2 of those and hope that it's enough to get a win.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the game plan.
I know we're talking about the defense, but one thing on the offense that
oh yeah, just do whatever you want to do.
I will. Russ has been very good against D'Amico Ryan's defenses.
Yeah.
He obviously the Broncos beat the Niners here last year. Wasn't a great offensive performance, but found that last few minute drive for a touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
In Seattle, his last year against the Niners, 2 wins, I think 5 total touchdowns, 1 turnover, 76% completion percentage, and over 100 passer rating. So maybe there's something about the D'Amico defense that Russ likes that the Broncos could find success with.
That's got a nice little roll there. The D'Amico defense.
D'Amico defense.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
It kind of just rolls off the tongue nicely there.
I agree.
D'Amico defense. That's nice. You think Nick Benito is a good name for a spy? Like, hey, that's Nick Benito.
I think Nicholas is about it.
Nicholas Benito. Oh, yeah, that is good. If he's going to be a spy, he's got to have a good spy name.
Maybe Benjamin Crenshaw.
Crenshaw. Hard to top Crenshaw.
Yeah.
That is a good spy name, I think.
Swanson's middle name, of course.
Yeah, of course
Benjamin Crenshaw Swanson.
Yeah. It's a little unusual, but so is Ben.
That is true.
Fact check, true.
Is your middle name Crenshaw, or is that what you call your beard?
Oh, yeah, you're a pal.
What's this thing?
It's not my actual.
That's Crenshaw.
Not my actual middle name, but
it could be.
It's kind of like a nickname.
But it could be.
Kind of a nickname.
Yeah. It's essentially my middle name now.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Phil's is Dork.
Yeah. Pants.
Wow. Why'd you have to say dork? What was that?
It's just what we hear a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people say it.
Many
Hey, Phil,
people say it.
dork. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Anything you want to talk about? Anything else on the defense? Or really the offense? Or really just anything
Special
about this
teams.
game? Yeah,
Special
anything.
teams.
Will Lutz.
Yeah, special teams player of the month. That's more for shout-outs.
Yeah, I
Eric.
was thinking.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
we get to shout-outs?
Let's do it.
Shout out Will Lutz.
Yeah.
Special teams player of the month.
Yeah, he's made a lot of field goals.
He did not kick the dirt once this month.
No, just a lot of clean, pure
Points.
Yeah,
11 of 11 on field goals.
that's nice. 5 in one game,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
The Vikings.
yeah, and he was not the AFC Player of the Week.
Robbed.
Sort of a makeup one here.
Yeah. He only played 3 games, but had a lot of points.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Makes you sort of think about that, huh?
think
A
it
little
does.
bit, yeah. Today's the last day of the month, so of course,
That's why we know.
that's how we know.
Well, you wouldn't do it 2 weeks into the month. That wouldn't make sense.
No. But now we're rolling into December.
The season to remember.
Wow. It's really the best time of the year.
Would you say this is a season to remember?
Yeah, if somebody gave me a brand new car with a bow on top,
Yeah.
then I would really remember.
like those car
I'd be like,
commercials?
remember that? No,
Where
they
it's
don't make any sense.
Where it's like, honey, I went out and made a $50,000
Yeah.
purchase without you knowing about it.
SNL had a nice spoof on that. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. They do some good spoofs.
Some skits.
Yeah,
They
some
love
funny
having
ones.
fun, huh?
They like having fun.
I
Yeah.
like doing some jokes.
They did one where
They should do that show live.
you think so? Like from New
That,
York?
that would probably be too much.
They just do it on
one
YouTube,
night.
right?
One night.
Really, Friday?
Yeah.
Saturday?
So I think Saturday's got the better.
You think better?
Yeah, they should do it live. In New York, I think.
Daytime
is
or
a
what?
good way. No. Night. They should. They did a funny spoof where the mom only just gets a robe, and like everybody else in the house gets like all these crazy things, electronics and toys, and they're just like, "Oh, mom got a robe." It's very funny.
Robe?
A robe.
Why do you say it like that?
How do you say a robe?
Robe.
Robe. No robe.
That's a different
It
show.
all comes back. Trying to make a Batman joke, though.
I know.
Yeah, we'll see. Any other shout outs?
Shout out Liz Gerald.
Of course, the community.
Yeah.
Swanson, were you in the community?
I was.
That's right.
My
You
cause,
left
my
here.
cleats.
You left here.
Shoe donation.
Oh, yes, my cause, my cleats.
Some students at West Middle School. Yeah.
Nice.
Got some free sneakers that are all white. So they
You
can,
got some free sneakers?
I did not.
Oh.
They can design them themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, nice. That's kind of cool.
Of course, the Broncos players will be wearing their cleats this weekend against the Houston Texans.
A lot of good causes out
We'll be
there.
previewing that game coming up.
Oh, yeah. This is just the start of the show.
Yeah. Just kind of like
Yeah.
the prelude.
The middle, yeah.
Real fans just loop the show. Repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
one of those.
How many people do you think had us in their Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah,
Oh,
a lot.
yeah.
A lot.
Anybody? If you
I
had
think-
us in your Spotify Wrapped,
Well, the shows are long enough.
let us
so
know. Yeah, they're like, you listened
Most
to
listened
you
to.
listened to 5,000 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, I did listen to an episode.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like 2 in 1 year. That'll do it. Yeah. What was your number one?
Zach Bryan.
Oh, a lot of dusty roads and
He's more, I think, a little like
Co-pilots?
he's a little folksy.
so what does that mean?
It's not. He doesn't sing about dusty roads
Sings about
or beer or dogs. He doesn't really do that. It's
Oh,
more
really?
like kind of some heartfelt.
hanging out by the big tree.
What was yours?
It was
Sinatra?
the Beatles. It was known as the Beatles. I tend to listen to the Beatles.
Frank Sinatra was second.
Weekend mornings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beethoven.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Some opera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go there.
Yeah.
So it's
Swanson, Selena Gomez
City.
for you. What'd you get?
I can't remember the top one. It was either Paul McCartney or this group called Fever Ray. But,
And you got Spotify in the barrel.
Yeah,
Oh, in the barrel. Yeah,
his
yeah,
listening
yeah.
went way
Surround
down last
sound.
month.
I couldn't get the podcast, but I could get them.
You got Spotify.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah. Makes you think. Any other shout outs? Like a sports person of the year type of
Oh
situation?
yeah! Shout out to Big Ten Coach of the Year David Braun
Oh,
of your Northwestern Wildcats.
Wow.
Y'all getting a new stadium, huh?
Maybe.
Cats guy.
Apparently,
I
they
think so.
forgot to do some of the stuff they were supposed to do.
The city council?
They had to get, the school was
Evanston?
supposed to have forms for like clearing them to tear down the stadium since it's a historic site, and they just didn't do that.
Oh,
So
that doesn't seem like a big
We're
deal.
building a new historic site.
It's going
That's
to
a
take
problem.
some time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Make some
like,
new memes.
they're like the 2018 Big Ten West champions played here. You can't just tear this down.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Simeon came here once.
Yeah.
What if the grass
With
doesn't grow
Eric.
properly after we
Yeah, they couldn't get the bulldozer in there because the grass is too long.
too long? Yeah, yeah. That's, I heard there were some concert issues.
There were
Yeah, so like if
the Beatles wanted to play.
Beatles
or
on the
something.
show, they could do that with AI now.
That's true.
I mean, they just
Allen
released
Iverson and
a
the
big
Beatles,
single
that'll be
here.
Crazy.
The Beatles just put out a single.
Oh,
We
yeah?
should do this
It was number
podcast
one.
with AI. Yeah.
That'd be
None of us
save
would
me
have
some
to
time.
And of course, shout out to Nikola Jokic.
Oh,
Got a nice little triple double last night.
in the in-season tournament.
No, they are not. They're no longer
Why?
participating in that.
They opted. They opted out.
They opted out.
They have chosen to
Not to.
refocus on the larger picture.
They've chosen traditional schedule mode.
They've chosen.
Oh, it's kind of They were like, oh, which one should we? They're like, oh, we'll just do the normal schedule.
Yeah. They're going to gear up for their Christmas Day game.
Ooh, who's that against?
I think Golden State.
Ooh,
Is it? Or maybe it's the Suns.
I think it's the Suns.
Maybe it's the Suns.
50-50 chance.
That's going to be good.
50-50
If it's the
chance
Suns, that's
against
going
the
to be
Suns.
good.
Either is or it isn't.
No, wait, it is Golden State.
See, I thought it was
Oh.
Golden State. That's what I thought. That's going to be good.
My bad.
That one's going to be good. See, Swanson's leading me astray.
Suns on Friday. This Friday.
All right, enough of the Nuggets.
Okay. All right. Well, looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Suns.
Of course, if you look at a schedule that you printed out at the beginning of the year, you're going to be like settling in here in the Mountain Time Zone, 2:00, flip on your old TV. Missed it. Missed the
it.
whole thing.
11 a.m.
This one is going to be at 11 a.m. local in Denver. I mean,
Yeah.
local,
If
like
you-
where they're
depending on
playing the
where
game.
you are.
12 Central Time.
Yeah. If you're like in London,
Way different time. Way
Oh,
different.
different time.
I don't even
6
know.
p.m.
I
Check
don't
your
even
local
know.
listings.
Check your
7
local
p.m.
listings. Yeah, what are they?
I think it's
8. Yeah.
8.5.
Some places are half.
I think just Arizona.
They don't have the half at Arizona. They just don't move it. You know what I'm saying?
It's time to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Okay,
it a-
well, we're
kinda
looking
makes it
forward
a
to this
half,
one.
you know?
This was another good
episode.
Good episode. I wonder how it'll be reviewed.
I can't
Right.
wait to see the comments.
We'll have
yeah,
to
I
see.
would-
Hopefully, a top 10 Broncos one this
It's a
week.
serious episode.
Yeah, this is a good one. So, Swanson, we're happy that you're back.
Yeah, we missed
I'm
you.
happy to be
We
back.
missed you.
You're safe. You're sound.
Yep.
People online, they were trying to replace you, like with former players. They're like, "Can we bring in
Davis?
somebody?"
No,
No, we can't.
that's not allowed.
Please don't hurt me like that. Yeah. So we're happy you're back.
Bob Swenson.
Yeah, Bob Swenson could have been available. That
I
would
got
have
an
been
email
very
intended for him the other day.
Okay.
very seamless transition. It would have been fine.
Do the thing where you wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Ben Swanson and Aric DiLalla, I am Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.
Listen up, Denver Broncos fans. Paramount Plus is your streaming home to catch every local NFL on CBS game this season. Visit ParamountPlus.com to start your free trial and stream Russell Wilson and the boys as they battle the league's best. Plus, get an all-access pass to 24/7 NFL content with CBS Sports HQ, Fantasy Football Today, NFL Slime Time, and more. And this year, Paramount Plus is your streaming destination for Super Bowl 58. Another action-packed Broncos season with the NFL on CBS awaits. So stream Paramount Plus from any device all season long.